Hello, I'm Wayne Thornhill, and along with Marcio Moreira and the creative team from McCann-Erickson, we'll be presenting to you some new Fanta concepts recently approved for Europe. As you may know, Europe has had an older positioning for the brand than the rest of the international sector. Consequently, the My Friend Fanta pattern campaign is not considered optimum for the region. We therefore tailored a strategy and designed an advertising campaign to suit this older profile. The essence of this platform is that the advertising should project a youthful attitude with a definite teenage focus, against the strategy which is to convince prime prospects that Fanta has a great orange flavor with an effervescent taste that delights and enlivens every soft drink experience, while punctuating and romancing the two key product properties of great orange taste and carbonation. All of this expressed in an atmosphere full of fun, sun, and color against a lively, exciting, exuberant tone. And now to introduce the creative solution, let's listen to Marcio Moreira.
Hello. Wayne Thornhill gave you the background and the strategy behind this effort, so let's now talk creative. You will be hearing from the creative group that did the work in international team, but before they do that, let me give you a little bit of a sense of what the campaign is about, what we're trying to achieve with it, and what the creative principles are that we operated under. The first thing you should know is that this is a campaign about the intrinsics of Fanta. It will have extrinsic imagery as well, but it is really about the product, what the product offers in terms of mouthfeel, in terms of color, in terms of taste, in terms of aroma, all of those important things that create a soft drink worth, having, worth really going out of your way to get. So that's the most important thing I want you to remember about this. It's an intrinsic campaign that also has extrinsic imagery. The extrinsics flow out of the intrinsics. It will be explained in detail to you in a second. The second thing I want you to know is that we have decided not to target against a specific age group. In fact, we are targeting here through tone and manner. We're targeting in terms of talking a language, a psychological language that people will react to, will feel good about. Age is unimportant here. You'll see people of all ages, but the advertising is youthful and it's very, very joyful. It's very fun to watch. It's very colorful. Those are the things that are important for you to remember. Most important of all in terms of other Coca-Cola brands is the fact that we try to differentiate Fanta, once again, as we do with Sprite, as we do with Diet Coke, from mother brand Coca-Cola. This is done in this case through the use of bright, vibrant primary colors, especially orange, and also through some executional, very well chosen and designed tricks that the people will take you through in a second. One of them, of course, is the choice of locations and the fact that we decided to be location specific. So if Coca-Cola, for example, always deals in generic realities, the beach, Saturday night, and those kinds of things, Fanta is going to be location specific. Whenever we go to a place, we will want to have some of that local color working for us and giving Fanta even more personality. So that's part of what you're about to see as well. Music is fundamental to this effort. You will hear great music, which we have executed in several different ways so that you get a sense for the flexibility and the power of this new piece of music. It's very memorable and should remain recognizable as we execute the advertising. I told you about the color orange. And perhaps the last little thing, but important thing I should tell you about is every one of these commercials will have a cameo appearance by oranges themselves. The real fruit will always be there. In every commercial, orange will make its own little appearance, and in that way, make sure that people understand that oranges are associated with this brand, oranges are associated with Fanta. Please enjoy the ride and give us a response as soon as you can. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcio. My name is Jeff Norse. I'm from the international team in New York. And over the next couple of minutes, my partner and I will be taking you through our thinking on the Fanta campaign. The concept of this campaign was arrived at basically by looking at the attributes of the product itself, the intrinsics and what that leads to, the expression of enjoyment of the consumers. Now, in dealing with the intrinsics of Fanta, we wanted to get across the bubbliness, the fizziness, the joyfulness, friendliness of the product, the sunny feeling of the product. And to do this, we chose a theme, which is Fanta makes music in your mouth. Now, the theme, Fanta makes music in your mouth, obviously relates to the taste sensation of the product itself. We feel very strongly that each of the commercials you will be seeing will deal mainly with reactions to a drink of Fanta. There will be vignettes intercut around it, but the main theme of our commercials is the intrinsic properties of Fanta and the extrinsic pleasure that you get from drinking the product. Makes music in your mouth to us also leads very easily to a number of visual executions and as well as jingle executions. And that's what we're about to show you over the next couple of minutes.
Hi, my name is Doug Biro. I'm Jeff's partner on this project, and I'll continue to take you through our thinking on this campaign. Before we get into showing you the storyboards, we created what we call a mood Amatic. And that is, we've assembled a bunch of video footage against one of the arrangements of our basic music track. And it's designed to give you literally the mood of the kind of commercials we would like to create. Please look at it for color. Most of the color in the video you're going to see is very, very bright and vibrant and front lit. Imagine this, if you will, with orange being the dominant color. It's not, of course, in this piece, but you will feel the power of the color that you're going to see. And the other ingredient you should look for is the fun. There's a lot of fun in this little piece that we've put together. So look at it, please, for fun and color, and disregard certain things that would not be part of what we would shoot later. Primarily, there's maybe an overemphasis of sexy girls, which would not really fit the Fanta brand personality. So if you can please look past the sexy girls and focus on the color and the fun, let's take a look at our Mood-O-Matic.
That orange Fanta fizz. Listen to the beat of the bubbles on your tongue. You can feel the fizz of the Fanta going down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. La, la, la. Fanta makes music, music in your mouth. Fanta makes music, music in your mouth.
You've seen the mood piece. Hopefully it will give you a feeling of what we're trying to do when Jeff starts to take you through these storyboards. Before he does that, though, I'd just like to give you several things to think about as we go through these storyboards. All 4 commercials that we're going to show you are part of a single campaign under the theme line, Makes Music in Your Mouth. All of them are people having fun in the sun with Fanta. Each of them is location specific, as Marcio touched on earlier, to carve out a territory unique unto Fanta. Unlike Coca-Cola, which is universal, we are going to go to a special place, a place outside your daily routine, where people will have Fanta and will enjoy it in a wonderful place. And we're going to use that place. We're going to use the color and the personality of that place to help define the world of Fanta. But please don't get hung up on the 4 places that we've chosen. They are suggestions for the presentations that we've made so far. By no means are we locked into these specific locations. Most importantly, what you're going to see in all 4 commercials is that the first 6 to 8 seconds of each commercial open up with a series of very dramatic, compelling close-ups of the Fanta product. The top being flipped off the bottle or the can being popped open, a pour, a very close-up pour over ice, and then a shot on top of the glass as the bubbles come up, a person drinking the product, and finally the reaction, which of course is the whole idea that, Fanta makes music in your mouth. Each commercial will open in a similar fashion, so that in the first 7 or 8 seconds you have no doubt about what this commercial is. It's a Fanta spot. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this back over to Jeff, and he's going to take you through the first board.
The first commercial I'd like to take you through is called Bora Bora, which is a tropical island. Before I do that, I'd like to say a brief word about the music you're going to hear. We've done 4 different executions of the same melody, and this particular one you've already heard when Doug played it for you over the mood Amatic. You'll feel the, over the beach commercial of Bora Bora, you'll feel the samba-like feeling, the heat, the laziness in the sun, call it languidity if you like. So when you listen to this radio track, which we'll play first, I'd like you to listen for the opening. As Doug said, we have 7 seconds or so of product pouring, of people drinking, of people reacting to the music in your mouth that Fanta gives you. And listen for the sound effects behind it. And remember that throughout the commercial, we will constantly be coming back to people reacting to the taste of Fanta.
That orange Fanta fizz. Listen to the beat of the bubbles on your tongue. You can feel the fizz of the Fanta going down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. La, la, la. Fanta makes music. Music in your mouth. Fanta makes music. Music in your mouth.
Bora Bora is a very beautiful beach, and what we're going to do is show kids, teenagers, all ages, having a lot of fun under the sun at a very distinctive beach. As we said earlier, this commercial and all the commercials will begin with a very, very dramatic opening shot, a can opening, a bottle opening. It would then move to product pouring over ice, a very, very delicious looking shot. We would then move into our people having a taste of Fanta, and then a very, very big reaction to the bubbles, the fizz, to the music in your mouth. An ooh, an ah, and that would be throughout all the commercials. Now this commercial, while we'll, because of time dictates, we'll be giving you very few shots. We in fact have very many shots, and if you could imagine a great day on a beach, you can imagine how many terrific shots we can get. For instance, we would have, just to get little kids and an older generation, we would have little kids squirting dad, unsuspecting, with water pistols. We would cut to something like a guy making an incredibly spectacular catch of a frisbee. The frisbee itself could cut away to a Fanta, a bottle top flipping away. We could then move down to showing kids having fun in front of a colorful row of windsurfers, sails fluttering in the air. Move across to a girl tanning under the sun. A lot of Fanta branding would take place in this. Fanta sun umbrellas, Fanta beach towels, Fanta beach balls. So the whole feeling is very much orange. We would then have, for instance, granddad and grandmom with a little grandson on granddad's back. And they are packed with all kinds of stuff, cooler bags, radios. They're out to have a great day on the beach. We would then, as Marcio mentioned earlier, we would show oranges, real oranges. And in the Bora Bora situation, we would use a local lady who had a straw basket full of fruit, of which oranges plays a very dominant part. And before ending on Bora Bora, I'd like to just stress once again that throughout all these vignette shots, we would always come back as often as possible to the pouring shot, to the drink shot, that delicious long drink shot, ending once again in that ooh, in that ah, in that reaction to the taste of Fanta, and to show that Fanta really does make music in your mouth. The second location we're suggesting is an amusement park in Sydney, which is called Luna Park. And here's the music track that would drive the Luna Park commercial.
Orange Fanta Fizz. Listen to the beat of the bubbles on your tongue. Yeah. You can feel the fizz of the Fanta going down. Fanta makes music, music in your mouth. Fanta makes music, music in your mouth.
The basic idea here is all the fun in the sun at an amusement park. Now, as with the beach at Bora Bora, we would once again start with our dramatic opening shot of the can or bottle being opened. We would then move into the tight shot of the product pouring over ice. And from there, we would go into the product drinking shot. Again, that very delicious shot, which would end in a very broad reaction, the ah, the ooh, the Fanta makes music in your mouth. Now, as with the beach at Bora Bora, the amusement park is also very, very colorful, very orange, very primary colors. And some of the action, we would begin on a painted clown juggling very real oranges. Here again, we would have our cameo of oranges. 2 clowns, in fact, 8 oranges in the air, cutting to Fanta product, etc. We would then move into what we believe is very humorous, a hall of mirrors, where some kids, some older people are standing in front of the mirrors, pulling faces. Obviously, they are very distorted and very humorous. But we would match cut that same shot with a Fanta can in front of the same mirror, so the can itself is also distorted like the people. Another possible shot is the test of strength, a dad helping a little kid hit the mallet, and instead of the mercury shooting up to the top, we would have the Fanta product fizzing right to the top, and as it explodes out of the top, we would match cut to a can with product exploding out the top. Another area we'd look at is the dodgems, the very bright, very fun, and the kids would, while the kids would be bumping into each other, we would match cut to Fanta cans bumping into each other. Another shot would be a flotation chamber, where kids are held off the ground by this huge fan. Their reactions, obviously, we would then cut into a product shot, pouring, drinking, and once again, the big reaction to the taste of Fanta. We must stress that would be throughout this commercial, of strong as possible branding. We would have, for instance, a young guy and his girlfriend. He's throwing tennis balls at a whole line of little orange ducks. He wins, she gets a big bright orange teddy bear. We would have mom, dad, little kids on the carousel. Again, that's very bright, very primary colors. We would have what they call the roundup, which in fact is centrifugal force, and it spins round and people are pressed against the sides. All this would obviously allow us for a lot of fun reactions. We would then also show the source of Fanta, the dispensers, and obviously we'd also end up with a very, very big drink shot and reaction shot.
Our next commercial for Fanta Makes Music in Your Mouth takes place in the famous flea market in Madrid called El Rostro. Every Sunday, hundreds of vendors selling all kinds of wild things gather together, and literally thousands of people, young and old, gather together, buying and trying on all kinds of crazy things, enjoying themselves under the sun. Before I take you through the vignettes, let's listen to the music track that goes with El Rostro, the flea market.
That orange Fanta Fizz. Listen to the beat of the bubbles on your tongue. You can feel the fizz of the Fanta going down. Fanta makes music, music in your mouth. Fanta makes music, music in your
As in all our commercials, El Rostro begins with the flip of the Fanta can and the pouring of the orange liquid over the ice, and then we see the couple one of whom is trying on a kind of a ridiculous pair of sunglasses, and they sip Fanta from a cup, and then of course we move into the young lady reacting to the Fanta sensation, and of course she makes a big as she tastes this delicious drink. The kind of vignettes that we would find in this flea market would of course revolve around the activity of trying on clothes. For instance, we see in this first vignette a bunch of teen girls trying on all kinds of great looking coats and hats from racks of clothing from the 50s and 60s. And then we move to another table where a young teen has picked up an orange-bodied, old, beat-up guitar, and he's taken it in his hands and he's playing it and pretending that he's a rock star. And then we move to another table in the flea market, and we see just a young kid playing with a table full of old antique gumball machines. He's made the mistake of turning the mechanism to one gumball when suddenly all of these gumballs pour out all over the place. And as we follow the gumballs to the ground, we see another table where a teen is trying on a pair of old Elton John style platform boots that are 6-inch heels with orange stars and inside toy goldfish. And in this fun, crazy atmosphere, this kid would be trying on the shoes while the gumballs are flying all around the floor of the marketplace. So as we move from drink shot to drink shot, we would see more vignettes in the flea market, like a couple of teen girls trying on great kitsch sunglasses and glasses from the 50s and 60s and looking at themselves in the mirror, and of course drinking Fanta. And then we would move through the flea market and we'd see a father with his young sons sitting in a couple of old antique barber chairs and spinning them around, and of course they too are drinking Fanta. And for our cameo appearance of real orange fruit, we would have a fruit stand with people passing by drinking Fanta. We would have other tables at this flea market that would include old radio sets and Victrolas, and another table with a bunch of teens trying on crazy wigs. That's the kind of energy and color and fun that would happen at the flea market. Our final location is the Boulevard by the sea. We've chosen a famous one in Cannes called La Croisette that runs along the Mediterranean, but again, it doesn't have to be this one. It's any great boulevard by the ocean where kids and people of all ages have lots of fun. Before I take you through individual vignettes, I'd like to play the music track that goes with the boulevard.
That orange Fanta fizz. Listen to the beat of the bubbles on your tongue. You can feel the fizz of the Fanta going down. Fanta makes music, music in your mouth. Fanta makes music, music in your mouth.
I'd like to take you through a few of the vignettes that you'd find on the boulevard. Obviously, we'd have a cruising scene with a couple of great-looking girls in one car and a couple of guys in the other. The girls pay no attention to the guys until, of course, they pop open their Fanta cans, and the girls smile as they notice the guys drinking the Fanta. Then we would move to a shot of a balloon seller who loses grip of about 100 helium-filled orange balloons, and we watch them drift into a bright blue sky. And here's where we would probably match cut to a shot of the bubbles on top of the Fanta glass. We would then have other vignettes like a sidewalk artist painting the Mona Lisa drinking a cup of Fanta. And finally, in our cameo shot of real oranges, we'd have a couple of great-looking girls roller skating along the boulevard right past a fruit stand as the fruit seller waves to the girls, and we see oranges clearly in the shot. Other vignettes we would include would be a couple of terrific-looking young teens on skateboards who are skating, who are slaloming through a series of Fanta cans. And at the end, one of the kids smartly bends down and picks up the last can in the row and starts drinking. And then we would cut out to other teens on motor scooters cruising down the boulevard right past a big, beautiful Fanta billboard and reacting to the billboard. Again, lots of vehicles. We would have kids, a group of teens, cycling through a traffic jam very nonchalantly as all the cars are stopped. We would have them cruising smartly in between the cars and even drinking from Fanta containers that are on their bikes. Instead of water containers, we'd have them labeled with Fanta and drinking from those. And then we would move to the source of all this Fanta, which would be an open stand on the boulevard where teens are gathered enjoying the drink. And finally, the kind of color that we would like to add to all these boards, we would focus on an old salt who has a parrot on his shoulder. And he's drinking Fanta, and he reacts to Fanta, and then we cut to his parrot who mimics his reaction. That's the kind of color and the kind of fun that we want to find in all these commercials.
On behalf of all of us at McCann International, I'd like to thank you for your time and just leave you with one thought. We did present these to the guys in Europe, and the two boards that were favored above the others was Boulevard and Amusement Park. And please feel free to contact any one of us should you like to know a little more information about this campaign. Thanks a lot.
Listen to the beat of the bubbles on your tongue. Yeah. Feel the fizz of the Fanta going down.